Here, during their meeting Thursday, Guillot said,
J'ai tout naturellement répondu que je l'avais trouvé ainsi, comme je l'avais trouvé d'ailleurs lors de mes précédentes audiences. Je n'ai rien à rajouter là-dessus.
France is an important economic and military ally of Cameroon.
Lasha Kingsley, and in that report, Cameroon's Minister of Public Health has issued a letter to regional public health officials reminding them of the need to respect the COVID-19 treatment in public hospitals. This issue came up after some patients complained that they were being asked to pay money in public hospitals. Details with Jinka Blandine in the following report.
In a press release signed on Thursday, April 16, 2020, Minister Manauda Malachi noted that it has come to his notice that some health personnel charge fees to people who come for consultation or any other services linked to the corona pandemic. In his circular letter, the Minister of Public Health reminded the officials concerned of certain key principles for the treatment of COVID-19, in particular free services. According to the official data available to date, Cameroon has nearly over 1,000 positive cases of coronavirus, including 305 recoveries and 42 deaths, with 176 hospitalized and 33 on oxygen therapy. As the virus continues to spread in our country, some patients complain that they have been forced to pay either for the test or cost of hospitalization or even care in hospitals, and yet this support is free. The minister went further to say that all necessary measures should be taken to ensure that all services related to the management of COVID-19 without exception are offered to patients without financial compensation. And he equally called on hospitals handling COVID-19 patients to, in the next 48 hours, submit lists of all they need to effectively take care of the patients.
Time for us to bring to you this interministerial communique signed by the Minister of Public Health and that of Local Development. The Minister of Public Health and the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development informed the general public that they held a meeting on Monday, 20th April 2020 at the Public Health Emergency Operations Center in Yaoundé. The meeting aimed at further involving councils and urban councils in the framework of decentralization of prevention and response to the global pandemic of the novel coronavirus. At the end of this meeting, which was attended by the Director General of the Special Fund for Equipment and Intercommunal Intervention, FECOM, and the Mayor of Yaoundé City, a certain number of measures were enacted that councils and city councils must implement with regard to the authority given them by the State of Cameroon concerning public health and social matters, with a view to prevention and an effective response against the pandemic to the novel coronavirus. These measures include the social and health management for COVID-19 positive cases and those hospitalized, food and laundry, just to name these, the identification of potential quarantine sites and their evaluation. These sites must have all possible facilities. The identification of sites in cemeteries for burial of diseased people from COVID-19 case of mass deaths, the disinfection of cities on a large scale, the mobilization of community health workers to raise awareness amongst the population. Furthermore, a study is underway with a view to making financial resources available to those councils with less financial resources for the efficient and effective implementation of these measures. The Minister of Public Health and the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development take this opportunity to acknowledge the contribution of mayors of councils and urban councils as part of the prevention and response to the novel coronavirus. They urge them to make more efforts to combat this pandemic. Signed in Yaoundé, the 20th of April 2020 by the Minister of Decentralization and Local Development, George Elanga Obam, and the Minister of Public Health, Dr. Manauda Malachi. The youths of Bonadikombo Mile 14, Limbem, carried out a COVID-19 sensitization campaign over the weekend. They stressed on the fear and stigma factors surrounding this disease and called on the population to be careful, for COVID-19 is not a myth, but a reality. Details with Bokengo Worthy in Kenya in the following report.
Bonadikombo Maifo Limbe joined the general population and the rest of the world to fight against the deadly coronavirus pandemic under the campaign theme, I protect you and you protect me.
This is an initiative by some well-wishers in Maifo to fight against, obviously, the COVID-19. This is to sensitize the public concerning how the virus is spread and what are the measures that can be taken when someone is infected by the virus. As part of the activity and the campaign, we went from door to door. We tried to sensitize the public, we sanitize their hands, and we distribute free masks. And also, we want to also make to the population to understand that this virus is a reality, and everybody should make sure that either you stay at home or when you are going out, you put on mask.
Hand sanitizers, locally made face masks were made available and distributed from door to door by these youths in a bid to support some of the measures put in place by the government and the World Health Organization. They beg on the government to implement tactics to foster these measures.
We also want to call on the government to try to do something very important to actually implement the measures put in place by them as well as the WHO to fight against the COVID-19.
The youths call on well-wishers and volunteers to support their initiative, the Bonadikombo Youths Against COVID-19, so as to help them continue with the sensitization campaign as well as facilitate mask production. The initiative was greatly appreciated by the inhabitants of Mile 4 Bonadikombo Limbe as some mothers blessed their efforts.
You are watching the 6:30 prime time newscast on My Media Prime Television. We're broadcasting live from Cameroon's economic capital, Douala. An online portal has been created at the Biaka University Institute, Boya, to enable lecturers continue teaching students from their homes following the rupture caused on the school's calendar by COVID-19. The move is in line with the ministerial call for schools to embrace e-learning as an educational solution. Details with Dolly Ngonde.
It is over a month now since school doors went shut nationwide as part of measures put in place by government to prevent the spread of the coronavirus pandemic in Cameroon. As stakeholders continue to brainstorm on measures to provide students and pupils with lessons while they stay at home, it is within this week that the Biaka University Institute of Boya has joined the fore by rolling out an enticing e-learning master plan. This was during a training session at the premises of the university, which saw a handful of lecturers from the university in active attendance, all in a bid to enable them continue disseminating lectures amid COVID-19 in the presence of the Vice-Chancellor of the university, Dr. Hongla Francisca Biaka. As far as e-learning is concerned, the Biaka University Institute of Boya has launched its own online platform portal, and during the training session, lecturers were trained on how to access and use the site through the link elearninghc.org.
And the only way we can do that effectively, well, everything is not 100%, but when I say effectively, it means that there will be interaction between yourselves, that is the lecturers as the institution, and the students, wherever they are. It's only by the means of e-learning. And we have developed a step further in this e-learning thing. It's not just relying on WhatsApp or the portal that we used to use, just uploading notes, but now we will be seeing, demonstrating to us where we can even do video.
In an interview granted My Media Prime, the Deputy Vice-Chancellor of Academic Affairs, Professor George Epa, further elucidates on how evaluation, research and assignments will be carried out through this online platform.
What we are trying to develop is what we call multiple choice questions, which is very easy for students to do and the lecturers also to mark. And our IT experts are working on that particular aspect with the teachers concerned, so that we can develop multiple choice questions that can easily be corrected or be evaluated online.
Talking about the effectiveness of e-learning lessons, the doctor also adds that rigorous measures have been put in place to ensure a successful teaching continues as in a regular classroom setting.
Enough logistics, the lecturers are there, the manpower is there. We have about 4 specialists trained in IT facilities, and I think that with this, the human resources, the computers that we have in place and the infrastructure, I think the administration is behind them to make sure that we can be able to be up to date and effective as far as e-learning is concerned.
Students or lecturers who may in one way or the other encounter difficulties accessing the site are encouraged to consult the IT administrators or the lecturers concerned, where their problems will be handled with ease. Drawing their inspiration from the manner in which online schools operate, the administration is optimistic the initiative will yield positive fruits as they hope to continue with the recent development even after the coronavirus pandemic, given it was the institution's vision to effectively go digital this 2020.
Good luck to the Biaka University Institute for that brilliant initiative. As part of measures to help curb the spread of COVID-19 in Cameroon, the National Office of the Cameroon Community Media Network has handed down protective kits to her littoral chapter members as they exercise their profession at this perilous time. Details with Eileen Sama in the following report.
Members of the Cameroon Community Media Network CCM and Littoral Chapter received the donation to combat COVID-19 from the CCM and Littoral Coordinator Regional Liengu Etaka Esong in the company of the Secretary General of the CCMN and his deputy. The event, which took place on Saturday 19 April in Akwa Douala, saw the handing over of face masks, hand sanitizers, liquid soap and t-shirts to all the peace journalists in the littoral region to help protect them against the deadliest global pandemic as they go about their daily activities. Dominic Meme is the Secretary General of the CCM and Littoral. He says it is important to arm all members of the Cameroon Community Media Network around the national territory to be able to report effectively while on the field.
Media Network decided to distribute these health kits to all its members of the national territory to arm them to be able to report effectively while on the field. We know that medical workers in the country Cameroon are really at the front lines of coping COVID-19 in the country, but besides these health workers, we equally have journalists and reporters that have been on a daily basis are on the ground to make sure they report activities that are happening in hospitals, what is happening at the level of markets, what is happening in public places in the quarters, how people are coping with the measures put in place by the government to fight against COVID-19. So these reporters need to equip themselves health-wise to be able to go ahead and report effectively. Remember, they report today to report tomorrow again, so they need to be in good health in order to report effectively.
The CCMN is a network affiliated to the Presbyterian Church of Cameroon's Peace Office with the objective to build peace journalists who are tasked with developing their communities through peace journalism. It is important to note that journalists risk it all while doing their job and need extra protection against the world's deadliest pandemic, COVID-19.
Recent updates from the World Health Organization has revealed that there is a rise in the number of COVID-19 cases in the world as more than 2.4 million people drawn from 210 countries are infected. Quintafon in the following report gives us statistics about COVID-19 as of now.
Over 210 countries worldwide have been battling with containing coronavirus pandemic. 4 months after the outbreak of the disease, thousands of lives have been lost with millions infected. At the time of this report, the world now counts over 2,425,437 positive COVID-19 cases, 636,378 survivors, and about 166,067 fatalities. For about a month, the United States of America
has been leading the World Health Organization's ranking with highest number of infections. As of April 20, 2020, the country counts over 764,265 positive cases and 40,565 deaths and over 71,021 recoveries, closely followed by Spain and Italy on the third position. The African continent has been witnessing an upsurge in the number of COVID-19 cases with over 17,000 infections recorded. South Africa has remained on the first position with over 3,158 infected, 54 deaths and over 903 recoveries, while Egypt is on the second position having over 3,144 cases, closely followed by Morocco with 2,990 confirmed cases. Cameroon has been one of those African countries that has been witnessing a steady rise in the number of positive COVID-19 cases, despite measures put in place by government to curb its spread. As of April 20, 2020, the country counts over 1,017 positive cases, 42 deaths and 305 recoveries spread across 6 regions out of 10 in the country. To this effect, citizens have been urged to follow hygiene and sanitation measures by government and the World Health Organization, as scientists are yet to come out with a cure.
Thank you so much, Quintaphone, for those statistics. Televiewer, let's talk sports in tonight's newscast. The Cameroon Football Federation has revealed that they will make a special financial donation to some Elite 1 and 2 as well as female women's footballers in the days ahead. The over 40 million franc CFA donation has, however, raised a lot of dust in local football cycle. Details in the following report. Football actors in Cameroon have not stopped expressing mixed feelings with regard to the announced financial assistance to Elite 1 and 2 as well as feminine football clubs by the Cameroon Football Federation. The suspension of all football-related activities in Cameroon due to the COVID-19 pandemic has left many football actors jobless and frankless. For this reason, the Cameroon Football Federation on Friday, April 17, 2020, announced that they will offer a special support to 25 players and staff of each Elite 1 and 2 clubs, plus 20 players and staff of each women's league club. The selected 25 players from 18 League 1 clubs will each receive the sum of CFA 50,000 francs, CFA 30,000 francs for each 25 players drawn, CFA 30,000 francs for each 25 players drawn from Elite 2 and CFA 25,000 francs for each of the 20 female players drawn from 12 clubs. According to some football actors, the initiative by Fecafoot is laudable but wanting.
I think the Fecafoot gesture is a good one. We always appreciate when someone does something nice. Reaching out to the players is good, but the only worry is that they are reaching out to some of the players. It would have been better if they gave this money to the clubs to pay the players, though the players are saying that they don't trust their management to actually give them the money. It's complicated, but it's a gesture that is worth saluting. 50,000 francs is not too much money, but it's not small as well.
It is also believed that the Fecafoot financial gesture has not only caused a dilemma, but can probably kill team spirit amongst the beneficiaries and those considered outcast by the selection criterion. As a solution, Fecafoot should consider using such money as cash prize.
Fecafoot has to seriously start considering putting a prize for the clubs to play for. That way, the clubs will organize themselves and fight for that prize. That way, they will have their players in the best possible conditions. Players are saying that they've gone for 5 months and more without salaries. I think it's because the whole league issue looks like a wasted investment for the club presidents, because if you don't happen to sell a player, what happens to you? It means that if you spend 20, 15, 30 million francs for a season, which is the barest minimum you expect a serious club to spend, then you'll be doing that for nothing. It
should be recalled that Fecafoot special assistance is in no way the payment of salaries to players, so football clubs should endeavor to respect their financial engagements with their employees. Televiewer, it is on that note that we come to the end of the first edition of the 6:30 prime time newscast on My Media Prime Television for the week. Once again, a recapitulation of our lone headline. The head of the French diplomatic mission to Cameroon, Christophe Guilleux, has revealed that the Republic of France will assist the state of Cameroon to reconstruct the war-torn northwest and southwest regions. But this will only happen after a frank dialogue between the government of Cameroon and separatist fighters. Staffman Lasha Kingsley and Ewane Nolinga Eli compiled and produced the news. I am Metuga Stanley Mwangalamem, right here in Douala, Cameroon, for presentation. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned to more programs on My Media Prime Television at exactly 7 p.m. Leonard and his guest will be right here for another dose of Prime Hour for the week on My Media Prime Television. Until tomorrow, may God bless Cameroon.
Shopping grâce divine. Vous ne serez jamais déçus car